sometimes you see a mobile suit and you're like, obviously that thing isn't getting a Gunpla. But other times, it is the complete opposite. You see a mobile suit that is so badass that it would be impossible for Bandai not to turn it into a model kit. I mean, they'd have to be stupid not to. And yet, nothing. And today we're looking at 5 of those awesome machines that for some reason never got a Gunpla. After a brief word of today's sponsor, HelloFresh. Because the only thing worse than not knowing when your favorite mobile suit is finally going to be getting a Gunpla is not knowing what to eat for dinner. And this is where HelloFresh comes into play with their 30+ calorie smart or protein smart recipes each week. Not only are they made with fresh ingredients, but they're also pre-proportioned and delivered straight to your door, saving you time that could be spent doing other things like making more model kits. All you have to do is choose your recipes, select the delivery date, and HelloFresh will handle the rest to ensure that you get a restaurant quality meal. And there has never been a better time to try it out than now, because they're also throwing in free dessert. So click the link in the description down below or use my code and get 16 free meals plus free dessert for life while the subscription is active. And the first one on our list is immediately one of the biggest head scratchers, the Qubeley mass production type. Not only do these things play a pretty important role at the end of Double Zeta Gundam, but they also had a cameo in Unicorn and the Build series. And they're linked to some fan favorite characters. And on top of that, the mass production type is very similar to the standard Qubeley. So we literally have all of the ingredients for a model kit that shouldn't just sell well, but that's also easy to make. Plus, it has a color variant, and we all know how much Bandai likes easy color variants for Bandai releases. And yet, Bandai never committed. Whether it's the high grades or the master grade, the story is always the same. They make the original Qubeley, the 2 Qubeley Mark IIs, and then nothing. But this won't stop me from hoping that one day we will actually get this thing in model kit form. Also, I don't know if this is a hot take or not, but it is my favorite Qubeley. And as an honorable mention for Double Zeta Gundam then, there's the Quin Mansa, a huge, almost mobile armor-esque machine that probably hasn't been made into a Gunpla because of its size and bulk. But with the recent announcement of the high-grade Universal Century Psycho Gundam Mark II and the Figurized Standard Peru 2, we might actually get it in the near future. But then again, that's how I felt about most of the mobile suits on this list. Like the Virgo from Gundam Wing. Everything about this machine makes it the perfect evil enemy machine. It's got powerful weapons, it's got powerful armor, its color scheme is red and black, its design is awesome, and it literally is a cold-blooded AI-controlled killing machine. And their performance in the show was equally formidable, which is especially noteworthy since Gundam Wing wasn't exactly kind to their grunts. But the Virgo was a menace. A menace that I was expecting to be made into a Gunpla, especially after Bandai released the high-grade Leo, because obviously the Taurus was going to be next, followed maybe by the Ares, and then the Virgo, which could then also be easily remolded into the Virgo too. But nothing so far. And talking about the Taurus, I originally wanted to put this thing on the list because as awesome as the Virgo is, there is just something about the sleekness of the Taurus that makes it even more badass. But since it does have a model kit, albeit a very crappy one, I decided to turn it into an honorable mention instead. And now we go all the way back to the original Mobile Suit Variations series. And despite not being an anime series, some would make cameos in later anime, and many of them would also get model kits. Machines like the RX-781 prototype Gundam, the RX-783G3 Gundam, the Gym Sniper Custom, the Gym Cannon, or the plethora of high mobility type Zakus. But one machine that wasn't so lucky was the Gym Light Armor, one of the first Gym variants that was made for ace pilots. And since it was only a minor variant, I thought it would have been a piece of cake for Bandai to remold it from the vanilla Gym Master Grade. Like, it literally just has a bit less armor, a different beam saber, no Vulcans, and a different gun. So maybe one day we'll get it as a premium Bandai limited kit? Please? And an honorable mention from the MSV line is the Dom Tropical Test Type. Just like the Taurus, it does have a model kit, 2 even, but they're both old and not exactly the best. And on top of that, the proportions for this thing are also very, let's say, retro. Personally, I would love to see a modern redesign of this thing as a high grade. For example, just look at its design in Gundam Battle Operation 2. Next up, a machine that used to be more obscure, but has seen quite some love in recent times. The new Gundam Mass Production Type. As the name indicates, this is a mass production version of the new Gundam that was designed to compete with the J-Gun. But eventually, it would only be adopted as a limited production machine for ace pilots. And for premium Bandai purposes, 2 variants of the machine existed. One with fin funnels for new type aces, and one with incomes for old type aces. And then finally, we have a mobile suit that didn't just get shafted in the model kit department, but just like, in general. Throughout the first Gundam Seed, Zaft was working on a powerful successor to the Jin, and in the final weeks of the war, it was finally completed. The ZGMF 600 Guaiz, the culmination of all of their own technology and the technology they stole from the Alliance, boiled down into a single mass-producible unit. As a result, it was superior to any mass production mobile suit from both the Alliance and Orb. But this isn't the machine that I want to tell you about, because it did manage to shine in the final episodes, and it did get a Gunpla. It's just very bad. No, I want to tell you about its successor unit, the Guaiz R. A refined and upgraded version of Zaft's magnum opus, that then immediately got pushed aside by Xeon wannabes, despite its awesome looks and equally awesome on-paper performance. The Guaiz R was little more than cannon fodder and wouldn't even be graced with a single model kit. For shame. And those were 5 machines, plus some honorable mentions that I simply can't believe haven't been turned into model kits yet. And as you probably noticed, I also tried to keep it to 1 per series, because for some series, my wishlist is a bit longer than for others. So let me know which Gunpla you've been waiting for years. So don't forget to check out HelloFresh with the link down below. As always, a big thank you to the Patreon supporters. I hope everyone watching has a great day, and I'll see you all next time.